Hi everybody, it's Julie. Welcome to Hello Monday. Today I'm going to be making some holiday cards using acetate overlays, and I'm actually going to be working with just one sheet of this Pink Fresh Studio Oh Joy acetate that has gold foiling on it. And I just fell in love with the whole thing because it's so shiny and pretty. We all like shiny things, right? And it has quite a few different images, and even though it's designed for scrapbooking and using those pocket page protectors, I thought it would make a great set of cards if I trimmed them all apart and played my cards right. This acetate is a really nice, heavy, thick quality, and I love the gold foiling. I'm trying to keep it from tilting in the light there so I don't blind you. It has a clear plastic liner on the back that you can peel away, but that's to protect the foiling. And I also cut a piece for a previous project by hand with a pair of scissors, but I didn't like how wonky I cut it out because I was eyeballing it. So I'm going to use my Fiskars aluminum cut rail trimmer. This is a deluxe trimmer that has a nice swing out ruling guide there on the left hand side, tucks under for storage, but it can accommodate 12 by 12 paper and paper that might be even longer than 12 inches, like maybe 15 inches. I also loved how the blades pop out, and I just wanted to show you how the straight blade on the cutting blade actually runs along the outside edge of that aluminum cut rail, and it drops down into that channel there as it cuts through your paper. And there's notches there on the ruling guide that show you where to pop on those cutting blades and the scoring blade. And so once you get them popped on, you'll feel them snap and you'll hear them snap into place. And then they're locked on there. They are not going to come off. So it also comes with a scoring blade so that you have the beauty of cutting and scoring with this particular trimmer. And I love the fact that when you flip open that, the blades do not fall off. They are locked on there, and you have to slide them down to that notch to get them off. So you're never going to lose your blades. Now I'm going to cut this piece of acetate along those straight edges where I can see where the divisions are of the different images that are on this sheet. And then once I've got my cut rail there lined up, I can go ahead and take my blade and just slide it carefully up the guide rail. And then I've got a nice clean cut there, and it's nice and straight. And then I'm going to do the same thing where I see the next division of images. And you'll see I'm going to actually use my finger to point out here. See, this is where I'm going to be cutting along with that blade. It's going to run right along that outside edge of that aluminum rail. So I'm going to put my fingertips on the platen there that holds the, or platen, or whatever, however they pronounce it, that holds the paper down, anchors it down in place. And then guide that blade up, and I'll cut the rest of the pieces apart in the same way. Now I actually wanted to layer my piece of acetate over a patterned paper, so I grabbed the Oh Joy 6x6 pad from the same collection, and I decided that I needed to be really careful about which pattern I chose because I did not want it to compete with the lettering there on the front and end up washing it out. So I found a pattern that I thought would work, and this paper is actually nice and thick. I actually thought I had two pieces in my hand when I was trying to tear it away from the pad, so it's really great quality. And I'm just going to trim it down quickly. It doesn't have to be perfectly sized to match that acetate because it's going to be mounted kind of wonky, and I don't mind if the edges are peeking out here and there. And I don't mind that it's not perfect. So now I'm going to peel away the liner on the back of that acetate and then go ahead and I'm going to clip them together using one of those Studio Calico Project Life Instagram banner paper clips. These are so fun. I love them. And I had to kind of decide whether I wanted the smaller side to show in the front or the larger side. Ended up deciding to go with the larger size. I don't know if there's a right way or wrong way to use these clips, but that's what I did. And then I put a little bit of tape runner on the back of that to mount it to my card front. But I noticed that the piece of acetate, it was really slipping and sliding because all that's holding it together there is that little paper clip. So I decided to grab one of my mini glue dots. I love these things. They come on sheets and they have these liner papers that make it really easy to just use a couple at a time or one at a time. And then you remove the liner paper when you need to. You don't have to remove it right away. And I used that to anchor down the acetate so it wouldn't slide back and forth there when people are handling it. And then I also die cut the word joy. This is the brush stroke joy die from the Essentials by Ellen Line. I think we released it 2 years ago. And I wanted to kind of pop it up. So I'm just going to take those same glue dots and I'm going to roll them between my fingertips to fit in a narrower area there on the back side of the die so they won't be seen. And then it will also elevate that die, make it look like it's popped up. So this is actually a really nice, fast way to elevate your die cut words or tiny skinny things, is to use those little mini glue dots and just roll them up and pop them onto the back of your die cut and then load it up onto the front of your project. I thought it turned out really nice. There are a lot of different ways you can attach the acetate to your card front. Here I actually used some glitter tape and I folded it over the edge of the acetate over onto the back side of a craft panel that had the dove die cut into it, and that secured it all along that edge, and it adds a nice bit of embellishment too. Here I used a smaller piece of that same glitter tape, and then on the right hand side in the lower right I actually mounted my greeting onto foam mounting tape, and then it overlaps the acetate and it keeps that corner anchored, so the whole thing is secured to the front of the card very nicely. You can get even more mileage out of this acetate sheet because some of the patterns and designs, like this one with the gift packages and the tree, was actually 4 by 6, and I could cut it apart and get 3 pieces to use in this particular layout. So I'm going to actually squeeze quite a few cards out of that 12 by 12 sheet of acetate. We have a lot more still shots available at the Classroom blog, so I hope you'll stop by and check them out. All the supplies are available at ellenhutson.com. Thanks for watching.